And you have simply put on here, State of Wisconsin plaintiff, that's an entity. You have to name a person, sir. The date. Well, the date we would fill in. So I'll have it shown to the state, and they can let me know their position on that.
Any legal basis why that would not be accepted, Your Honor?
You have to have a person named, sir, so that they can come and testify. You only have an entity named.
Is it not true that under the Sixth Amendment I have the right to face my accuser?
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree with the court's assessment. The subpoena does not state a person. The subpoena form specifically indicates that the person requesting the subpoena is to indicate the witness's name and address. Mr. Brooks has simply written the word State of Wisconsin plaintiff for the witness name. The State of Wisconsin is an entity, it's not a person. The State of Wisconsin cannot testify at these proceedings, so the subpoena should be rejected, Your Honor.
I object to that, Your Honor, on the grounds that every document that was filed in this matter stated that the State of Wisconsin was the plaintiff, which would lead me to believe that the State of Wisconsin is who's bringing the claim against my client. How could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff? And under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser. My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the State of Wisconsin. Attorney Opper also brought up that it didn't have an address on there. None of my subpoenas had addresses, as we went on the record, and that was stated that a lot of the paperwork that I have don't have a lot of the people's addresses on there. And those subpoenas were accepted, so I don't see the difference with this subpoena not being accepted for the reasons that Attorney Opper just stated.
Mr. Brooks, in relation to that subpoena, based upon my review for completeness, this court would note you have not named a person, you've named an entity, and the subpoena will be kept on file as part of the court record, but I'm not going to require the State of Wisconsin to testify in this case because they are an entity and you have not named a person.
Are they not, or are they not the plaintiff, Your Honor?
They are the plaintiff in this case, sir.
And why are they not able to testify, being that
So
they?
you've named an entity, not a person. People are called to the witness stand to testify. You have had an opportunity to cross-examine every single person who has been called by the state to testify in this trial. I believe that your Sixth Amendment rights have been complied with.
Not if I'm not allowed to face my accuser, Your Honor. My accuser in this matter would be the State of Wisconsin. And with all
Sir,
due
I believe your
respect,
Sixth Amendment rights in that regard have been complied with.
I'm requesting a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law on this issue for the grounds that I just stated. It was seen, based on the Sixth Amendment, that I'm not being awarded the chance to face my accuser, which I should be awarded that based on the Sixth Amendment. If I'm not able to face my accuser, then how can a claim even stand? How can a claim be brought against my client if I'm not able to face the accuser?
I'm not going to explain any further why you can't call the State of Wisconsin in the way that you've subpoenaed them or attempted to subpoena them for the reasons I've already stated.
For the record, may I respectfully move for interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter, Your Honor?
Your request is noted for the record. I'm not an appellate court, sir.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction?
Your request is denied.
Based on what law or fact, Your Honor?
I've previously addressed the issue, sir.
So
based
you're
on
making-
law of the case.
Are you making a judicial determination that I'm not awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser?
I'm not making any such determination here today. All right.
What law of
I'm
fact?
going to turn to the district attorney's office. Do you have a witness available?
Yes, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, our jurors here. All right, the jurors will be brought out, sir.
Your Honor, with all due respect for the record, you're avoiding my questions.
Mr. Brooks, I've addressed the issues that need to be addressed this morning. I've also addressed the same issues probably every day we've been in court. I know you may be dissatisfied with the response that I'm providing to you, but my responses stand.
It's not a dissatisfaction, Your Honor. It's a lack of understanding, which I don't have. I don't even understand the true nature and cause of the charges. And
Mr.
without,
Brooks, you've been made aware of them multiple times.
I do not understand them, is what I'm saying.
Encourage you once again, if you don't understand anything, to seek the advice of an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for that, Your Honor. I'm really asking why are my constitutional rights being prejudiced? It states under the Sixth Amendment that I have the
Sir, I've
right.
already addressed this, okay? We're not gonna have any further argument on this topic. All right, your Sixth Amendment rights are being honored no differently than any other defendant that has appeared in my court.
Have any other defendant not been awarded the opportunity to face their accuser?
You are facing your accuser, sir. Every single witness who's been on this stand, you have cross-examined.
None of those witnesses are making a claim. None of those witnesses are the plaintiff. None of those witnesses are identified as the injured party. An injured party has to make the claim, Your Honor. A
Sir, it's
living,
my opinion that your belief as it relates to that is mistaken. It's not a lawful argument, and it's frivolous. I've directed your attention once again to the Beneby decision.
is that not a federal case, a United States?
You're asking me for legal advice. I'm not going to provide that to
I'm
you,
not.
sir.
I'm just asking what kind of case it was. Was it federal
It
Supreme
is. It's
Court
a Seventh
case?
Circuit Court of Appeals case. We're in the Seventh Circuit, sir.
But you just stated that you're not a court of appeals. So, but you're citing a court of
No, but
appeals
Court of
case.
Appeals case law applies to this court, sir. I'm bound by legal precedent from the various courts that are above me.
And you're still not explaining how I'm not able to face my accuser, which is my Sixth Amendment constitutional right.
Sir, I'm not going to explain the law to you. I've made my decision. It stands.
I'm not arguing that part of it, Your Honor. I'm just merely
Do I have the
stating
jurors
for the record.
Yeah, I heard the door.
Okay, thank you.
I'm merely stating for the record that I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my
Your
accuser.
objection is noted, sir, once again. We'll continue this morning. Thank you.
None of the witnesses that testify are the accuser. None of the witnesses that testify are the injured party, which a claim has to be made by a living, breathing human being.
Sir, I think
which
you're
have not.
confusing civil law with criminal law. That's what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying. on that.
confusing. I'm not confusing any law. The Constitution says that I have the right to face my accuser, and under the Sixth Amendment, I'm not being awarded that constitutional right. I think that definitely needs to be on record, and that definitely is an issue that needs
Your
to be
objection is
raised.
noted, sir. If you believe I've erred in that regard, you can raise that issue on appeal if you are convicted.
May I put Your Honor on notice that I intend to appeal that decision?
Your statement's noted for the record.
Is that a judicial determination I will not be able to face my accuser, Your Honor?
I have not made any such determination, sir.
Will you be making a judicial determination?
Sir, I have not made any kind of determination that your Sixth Amendment rights have been violated. On the contrary, I believe this court has honored those rights.
Even with me not being able to face my accuser, which is the state of
Your
Wisconsin, the
position is
plaintiff.
noted, sir.
Is
It's
that a
noted for the
judicial,
record. I've already addressed it.
is that a judicial determination?
Sir, the record speaks for itself.
Is that a judicial determination?
All right, I believe the jurors are coming out. All rise, please.
Are you gonna answer that, Your Honor? Or is
No.
that a tacit agreement?
I'm not going to answer that further. I've answered it multiple times.
Is it a tacit agreement?
It is not.
Then I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser. Or a judicial determination should be made.
Record to reflect that the jurors are coming in for the morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The record should also reflect that I received no answer to that question. You also said you saw tail lights. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I did.
Were the tail lights bright?
They were illuminated like normal taillights.
Would that for any reason be able to impede you from being able to see the license plates?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds?
Sustained.
Do you recall where you, or let me back up, did you go inside of any buildings after the incident?
Yes, we were asked to go inside of the Nice Ash cigar bar.
About how close was the Nice Ash cigar bar to where you were participating in the parade?
It was pretty much right there.
Would that have been on the side of the street that you were on or the opposite side?
That was on the same same side of the street that I was on.
Do you recall if you were close to any intersections at that time?
I was more in the middle of the block than closer to an intersection.
Do you remember any cross streets? You said you were in the middle of the block. Do you remember the cross streets or the next cross street that would have been ahead of you?
I would not be able to name the street by name. I am not that familiar with downtown Waukesha.
Do you recall any side streets at all during the parade route?
I do remember crossing several of them.
Do you recall if they were barricaded in any way?
Most of the streets had a large number of people standing in them. Whether there were barricades behind the people, I am not sure.
Did you observe any law enforcement standing at those cross streets?
Yes, I recall seeing law enforcement at least some of the cross streets.
And you testified that you did not see the driver. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall giving any police report or being interviewed by any law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you recall if that was the same day of the incident or in the days following?
I gave my statement to a police detective on Friday of that same week, the day after Thanksgiving.
So that would be around the 26th of 2021, November the 26th of 2021. Would that be fair to say?
I believe, yes, it would be November 26th.
Do you recall why it would take almost a week to be interviewed or to make a report?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative, beyond the scope of the
Grounds.
witness's knowledge.
Grounds?
Also calls for speculation on the part of the witness. It's sustained.
Do you remember who the law enforcement officer was that you gave your statement to?
He was a detective with the Waukesha, City of Waukesha Police Department. I do not recall his name at this time.
You stated that you don't recall seeing the path of the traveling vehicle after it had passed you. Would that be fair to say?
I did not see the vehicle once it had traveled beyond my husband's vehicle.
Did you see it strike anyone at that point?
I saw it strike a person when it was parallel next to my husband's vehicle.
Did you see it strike anyone after that point?
No, I could not see the vehicle past that point.
Did you see the vehicle strike anyone before it got to the location that you were at?
No, I did not.
Do you recall reading or seeing a complaint in this matter in any way?
Objection.
Grounds?
Sustained.
To the best of your knowledge, have you filed any claims in this matter?
No, I have not.
Would you consider yourself to be a party to this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevant.
Sustained.
Were you aware that it might be a possibility that you would be called to testify in this matter?
Yes, I did.
Were you in fact subpoenaed by anyone to testify in this matter?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall by whom?
By the state of Wisconsin.
And when you say the state of Wisconsin, who do you refer to?
Objection. Argument.
Grounds?
Sustained.
Have you had any interactions with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection.
Grounds?
It's vague. Sustained. You may rephrase if you so choose.
Did you have any phone conversations or any physical conversations with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection.
Grounds?
Sustained. You can rephrase if you would like.
Do you even know the state of Wisconsin?
Objection.
Grounds?
Argumentative.
Grounds?
Sustained.
It would be fair to say, based on your testimony, that you were in fact called to testify by the state of Wisconsin.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Grounds? I didn't even finish the question. Can I have the grounds on that?
Finish your question and then I'll rule.
Seeing as how that you were called to testify by the state of Wisconsin, it would be fair to say that you've actually saw the state of Wisconsin.
Objection.
Grounds?
Vague.
Grounds?
Sustained.
To the best of your knowledge, would the state of Wisconsin be the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Can I have the grounds for the sustain?
Sustained.
Your Honor, with all due respect, the jury needs to know
question.
this. They deserve to know this.
Next question.
Are you aware that, to the best of your knowledge, are you aware that for a case, there has to be an injured party?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
As you said, the state of Wisconsin called you to testify. Did they at any time identify themselves as an injured party in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Reason for the sustain, Your Honor?
Continue, Mr. Brooks.
Any reason for the sustain?
It's sustained.
May I have the grounds, Your Honor?
Keep going, Mr. Brooks.
This is information that the jury deserves to know, Your Honor.
The jury is the judge of the facts only, and the court is the judge of the law. Keep going, Mr. Brooks.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down.